Breakfast Day where you guys open?
Yes, it
Are you
sucked.
serious?
I worked a double shift, bro. A
next
double
day.
shift. Open to fucking close. Longest day of my goddamn life.
That sucks so bad.
And we're live, so whenever.
Oh, okay. All right, MMA Maniacs, here we go. The first show of the new year. It is Split Decision. Bueller and Dodge at the mics from the Ruloff Family Inc. studio. And before we get into this, congratulations to Dennis, who has now a bouncing baby boy.
Woo!
Balake.
For the new year. What was the official birthday?
January 29th. Or no, December 29th.
From the future.
Future.
He's going to have a baby in 27 days.
8.5 pounds, 20 inches.
Nice. So congratulations, sir.
Hell yeah. Hung like a mule.
You finally got one off to college, and now you got another one.
Yeah, that's right. I got to be an empty nester for 11 months.
You just signed your own death sentence, man.
Yeah, I know. But it gives me something to build a legacy for, you know?
There you go. That works. So make sure you tell your friends about us. We got a Spreaker, Stitcher, SoundCloud, iTunes, of course, our website, which is splitdecisionmma.com. And, of course, Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. We have all that. SD_MMA on Instagram and Twitter. And then Facebook is Split Decision MMA Podcast. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Go give us a like or something. Tell your friends. Just shoot them links. Send all your friends links and tell them to download stuff. And, of course, you can always email us or hit us up on Twitter or something if you have any questions or just want to tell us that we suck at pronouncing names because we know that.
I'm going to try really hard.
No, you're not.
At least this card.
You're going to mess up John Jones.
I think I can get everybody on this card. I think I'm all right.
I'm going to mispronounce John Jones is.
Yeah, and if you want to send a message to somebody, you know what? Go grab a memory tag at 7-Eleven. Because anything else is just lame.
Yes, and this memory tag is owned by some of the fighters, so you can be supporting them too, since they're not getting that sponsorship money.
Oh, you don't think memory tag will make it in the ring?
What's that?
You don't think memory tag will make it in the ring?
Maybe. That's actually a good point. I wonder if it will.
You could tag people when they get knocked out.
Take a video of them.
Yeah, you could be like, Chuck.
Someone just hands a video over the cage. They were just running up. You got knocked the fuck out. And then you send them a card, and like 2 weeks, like, God damn it.
Yeah. Scan the QR code. It's a video of them getting knocked out.
Yeah, because it was sad when people had to tell Chuck Liddell what happened.
Preserve it forever with a memory tag greeting card. And also AmericanaMMA.org. Go hit them up. Do SD MMA for a discount in their shop on apparel as well. So, booyah! Let's go ahead and jump off with some news here before we get into the card breakdown for UFC 182.
182
going down tomorrow night. So first up, we have Crow Cop.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
Inoki Bumbaye.
What? Bless you.
That was, of course, the Japanese MMA New Year's Eve show that they always throw up on New Year's Eve. It's they usually do a nice little mishmash of things. So we had some good fights go on. We had Mirko Crow Cop defeated Satoshi Aieshi via head kick and punches, round 2, keeping his IGF belt.
Good for him. Good for that guy. I thought he was spending all of his time in Parliament at this point.
And then, of course, you have Shinya Aoki taking on Yuki Yamamoto. Submission round 1 with a twister.
Aoki loves the twisters.
It was pretty impressive. I got my Japanese MMA shirt on today.
I see that.
Very nice.
Hey, when you see these guys fighting the actual square like that, do you get like pride flashbacks while they're doing it?
Yeah, it's totally nostalgic.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is real nostalgic.
So, like I said, Aoki getting 25th submission out of his 37 career wins.
Oh, God, it looks painful.
And then decided to back out of the ring, out of the arena, flipping everybody off.
That's Aoki. That's Aoki.
Was he yelling 209? Or whatever their area code would be like 0, right? It's 0111110.
Yeah, I don't know what the international code for Japan is.
What is that? Computer talk?
Oh, binary?
Binary, yeah.
0011100110011001100.
Stop cussing in binary.
Yeah.
Further news, we have CM Punk, Mr. Phil Brooks, has decided he's going to make his camp at Rufus Sports in Milwaukee, not far from his home in Chicago.
Cool. Where's JC David Frank going to be training?
Probably in his garage. Surrounded by his action figures.
Whatever, that works.
Cheering him on. I don't know.
He needs to get a life-size punch clown of himself.
So, and Rufus says he's planning on making everyone prove everyone wrong. Basically, he thinks that he sees a lot of potential in CM Punk and thinks that they can prove everyone wrong. He said, I said the same thing about Anthony Pettis, and look where he's at.
This is going to help two people with one blow. It's going to help Rufus Sports if he wins,
time.
and it's going to help Punk if he wins.
Yeah,
you know?
big time.
Big time. The UFC has decided on their lawyer to combat the class action lawsuit. The number one pick from the underground, Mr. Saul Goodman, was not chosen.
Oh. I thought they were going to go with Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe.
Much to the dismay. They are choosing Boyes, Schiller, and Flexner. With Bill Isaacson, a guy.
What is it really?
Happy Hanukkah to that group.
Bill Isaacson, who looks like Michael Bolton from Office Space.
I think
Will be the chief. Will be their lead litigator.
That's 100% accurate, by the way. When I heard you say boys, I swear to God, dude, I'm thinking like boys, like B-O-Y, like chilling with my boys.
Yeah.
Again, shilling, I heard chiller, like chilling with my boys. and then of course, Flexner, because it's the fucking UFC.
Dude, I was flexing and shilling with my boys.
Yeah. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. Okay. They had to find a certain legal group that had certain keywords in their names, apparently.
They have already won a few cases, especially in anti-lawsuit. They won against, I think they said they won against Apple. So they have some big wins as well. So they are planning on putting everything together to go against this thing. There hasn't anybody that's been talked about lately. I mean, they asked John Jones recently in an interview if he had any words on it, and he said he has no comments, nothing to say. We actually are going to have an interview next week with Hoist Gracie.
Oh, that should be awesome.
So maybe we can ask him what he thinks.
Through translator?
He speaks English, dude.
Just like Stipe.
He lives in L.A.
So?
We're going to be talking to him about him promoting his...
There are people who live in L.A. can't speak English?
His new movie that he's going to be guest starring in or starring in. He's going to be in Scorpion King 4.
And they're getting driver's licenses now.
What the hell?
Yeah.
And they're getting driver's licenses. Except for Hoist doesn't have one.
Yeah, but he will.
It's Hoist, not Hickson, right?
It's Hoist.
All right. I thought Hoist needed a translator last time he was fought in the UFC.
No.
Oh, well,
Never
whatever.
needed a translator.
No,
He
only
didn't even need a translator in UFC 1.
Yeah.
That's a lie.
But Nick and Nate did.
That was just subtitled.
And subtitles, yeah. That's really cool. Hoist Gracie, huh?
Yep.
Nice.
Legend.
Yeah.
So
So
then
is that my New Year's surprise?
Yeah,
Which
it's
I'm
New
just
Year's-
finding out about this right now.
That's your New Year's surprise.
There's all kinds of shit I need to talk to that guy about.
We got to make sure we mention Scorpion King 4. That was a big thing.
Hoist Gracie, I want to see him take out the Scorpion King.
Oh.
Yeah. So I don't know if he's going to be an ally. We'll get to that. Anyway.
We'll find out.
The UFC, Dana White has stated that they are going to be abandoning the out-of-competition testing that they were running. They cannot oversee their own program. Straight from the words of Dana White, our legal team completely screwed that up. We fucked it up, and we will fuck it up again. That's what the commission is there for. That's what the commission is there for. We will do, however, is help fund it so they can do more drug testing. Our legal department screwed the whole thing up. We have no business handling the regulation.
Yeah, his legal department couldn't even put together a fucking press conference.
Look, they finally figured out something they can't do.
Fuck it, throw money at it.
Dana's like, fuck that noise.
We got Reebok money now.
Yeah, we got Reebok money.
I wonder how many jumpsuits that guy has at home right now. When they bribed him, it's like, we will give you all these jumpsuits if you go with Reebok for your sponsor.
I just picture like singlets and baby oil.
That's your weird imagination.
Yeah. What?
Hey, I haven't had much sleep.
Apparently not. I mean,
So we got a couple fights that have been announced. We have Rory McDonald will not be getting the welterweight title shot. Instead, confirmed today, we are going to have Hendricks Lawler 3.
yeah, I think we kind of discussed this over the last couple of weeks. It makes the most sense. Just get it out of the way.
Yeah. I actually like that fight a lot better than Rory anyway.
Because Rory's boring.
Confirmed officially, Dana White said Conor McGregor will get a title shot against Jose Aldo if he wins his fight against Dennis Siver in Boston at the end of the month.
And who's pissed about that?
Probably everybody.
Cub Swanson, I know, is super mad about it.
Well, he lost anyway.
Right, but he still doesn't.
Frankie Edgar.
Sure, Frankie Edgar.
But Frankie Edgar says he understands it's a money fight. He understands that. So.
Well, he's a good businessman.
Right.
Yeah.
But Cub Swanson's super pissed about it. Thinks that Conor McGregor hasn't earned it.
Holly Holm and Raquel Pennington, the fight that was supposed to happen in this last card will be happening now at UFC 184.
I still don't think it's going to happen.
We'll get to see Holly Holm's debut in the UFC. And then we have a little bit on the downswing. We have Charlie Brenneman got released from the UFC over the holiday.
Well, he's going to be over there in Bellator in no time.
Well, we don't know if he actually is. Phil Harris decided to retire from MMA. Phil Harris, if you remember, was the first ever European 125-pound fighter in the UFC.
Oh, yeah.
However, he went 1-3 in the UFC, so he's decided to retire and just focus on training in the gym and helping it out at the gym.
So he's going to be like a coach?
Yes.
Okay.
At his gym in Portsmouth.
Cool. Good for him.
And then Isaac Villiflag was released from the UFC. He went onto Twitter and said, I'd like to thank the UFC, Sean Shelby, Joe Silva, Dana White for the opportunity I was given to fulfill the dream. Hey, Scott Coker, you guys need anybody over at Bellator who comes to scrap every fight?
Yeah. If not, ONE FC will take him.
Somebody will. World Series of Fighting.
Yeah.
Somebody would, yeah. And then I like this right here. This was
Oh,
Ben
this is-
Askren tweeting to Daniel Cormier with a picture. And we've talked about this picture before. The picture's not showing up now. So it's a picture of John Jones taking fourth. And he says, hey, DC, you know what's worse than taking fourth at the Olympics? Being third to Matt Riddle in a state tournament. And it's a picture of John Jones on the third place tier with his medal. Matt Riddle took first, and it was a state tournament that Matt Riddle actually won. John Jones is looking all smug in third place.
Little ass Matt Riddle?
Yeah.
Yeah, but listen to what Riddle said.
And so I just thought it was funny. And then Matt Riddle says, hey, Ben Askren, you know what's more embarrassing than losing to me? Never getting into the UFC because you put fans to sleep. Have fun in ONE FC.
I like the crying happy
Yeah,
man.
the crying
That's
happy
the best of it all.
Askren still hasn't responded.
What can you say to
Yeah,
that?
right? True.
I think this is the best troll job in the history of mixed martial arts. 'Cause fucking Ben Askren is just the biggest mark at this point.
I would like to backtrack how many people Ben Askren has trolled all year
All year?
from
Oh,
ONE
everybody.
FC.
But I'm saying Dana White trolling Ben Askren. is
Yeah,
bad.
it's
Oh,
been pretty
yeah,
good.
Just no, you can't come into this club. Oh, all you guys go, come on. No, you got to wait. There's a
Please
line.
wait, sir.
There's a line. You got no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Are you
come
on
on
the
in.
list?
Yeah,
You're on the list? You're not on the list.
Yeah.
Oh, there's been at least 3 memes this year where it's like, "Hey Ben, do you want to come to the UFC?" Nah, fuck you. I'm just kidding.
Just kidding.
Tariq Safardine will not be taking on Matt
I
Brown.
wonder if there could be a memory tag that they could send to him, where it's like you open it up and it says "Welcome to the UFC," and then he scans it and it's Dana White going, "Ah, I'm just fucking with you."
Oh, we might want to just send that card.
I like this idea.
Yeah.
We'll send it to his.
But I
gym.
think Ben Askren still could kick all our asses.
Yep.
You have to come do it. He ain't got no money from the UFC to fly his ass out of here.
Some people just do it on purpose.
It'd be one of those guys that gets caught driving cross country with a shotgun in his front seat. Where are you going?
Is it going to be like Jay and Silent Bob where they just go beat up all the guys? They make fun of them.
Yeah.
On the list. Are
Yeah.
you Clown Shoes number 472?
Did you say Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back suck donkey balls? Yeah. It's gonna,
See, that's where I'm lucky. I'd be a split decision MMA. Oh, it wasn't me. It was those other 2 guys. I would throw you guys under the bus faster than anything. I could show you where they live. Let's go.
that's exactly what I
I
do.
could drive you there.
Oh, he said it was me. Hell, I was him, man. Yeah, I'll drive you back.
The old Eddie Murphy thing. I heard you was talking shit. No, I wasn't. Okay, maybe you wasn't.
Be like that astronaut chick who was driving like all the way across the country.
Wearing diapers.
Wearing diapers and pissing in jars just to go shoot her husband or something, or ex-husband. Crazy shit. Ben Askren be looking for a car in the mail.
Tariq Safardine will not be going up against Matt Brown at UFC Fight Night 60, which is supposed to be taking place Valentine's Day on Fox Sports 1.
Did they say why?
He is out due to injury.
I bet they didn't say what the injury was.
This is pride.
Groin injury.
Okay.
There you go. So, right now we have an open spot. Anybody want to fight Matt Brown
No.
for Valentine's Day?
No.
Yeah, especially not with no camp to get ready for him.
You got a month?
That's motherfucking Matt Brown.
You throw CM Punk in there.
You got a month? No, he said he needs at least 6 to 8 months.
CM Punk will get drunk and be like, "Fuck it, I don't need 8 months."
Do this shit.
Michael Johnson, coming over his win over Melvin Gillard, was yanked from the UFC last March due to a legal battle where he was booked in the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office for 1 charge of battery, touch, or strike, according to the police records. However, basically the UFC has released a statement saying that they are reinstating him because the charges were completely dropped and everything's kosher apparently.
So the charges were dropped.
Yep, they also put in they had a third-party investigation They were unable to find anything, any violation of the fighter's conduct policy. So
the guy who was in the military that had the domestic violence
Right.
record behind him, so he was convicted. That's why he can't come into the UFC.
Correct.
Got it. Even though his wife is like, I don't care.
Right.
Right. And then
She wants money. He needs to fight because he owes me money.
Exactly.
And then we did the hokey pokey. Was that Thiago Alves?
Yeah.
Remember, he was
not
in, he was
Thiago.
Thiago
out.
Silva.
Thiago Silva.
Yeah, he was in, he was out, he was in, and now he's really out, right?
Because there's video.
Yeah.
So anyway, he is expected now to fight at UFC Fight Night 61 against Edson Barbosa February 22nd.
Good for him.
So I'm interested to see that fight. Should be a pretty good one. John Jones recently was talking about how he lost his Nike deal due to the brawl at the MGM Grand. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
He now says he misspoke and was taking. He did not say the correct thing when he was talking to the Nevada State Athletic Commission under oath. However, he says, well, when I was in front of the commission, I worded it wrong. Nike did not drop me because of that fight. I owe them an apology to Nike for saying that they dropped me because of that fight. They didn't. Nike has been known to support its athletes through much worse things than a brawl in the middle of the MGM. They were actually planning on leaving MMA prior, and my contract was just up.
Because they had caught wind of the Reebok deal.
Yeah, they were probably. I'm sure the UFC was going to them like, "Hey, we got Reebok."
So
sponsors.
everyone
You wanna
freaked
sponsor
out.
us?
Everyone freaked out and said, "Well, then you lied to the Nevada State Athletic Commission while under oath, saying that you lost a contract. You shouldn't be punished because you already lost a contract to Nike because of this brawl." And he said, "Well, I misspoke. I technically I did because there was like I still had $1,000 credit with Nike." And like they wouldn't give it to me now because of the brawl.
Store credit?
And I kind of don't have it. So but I didn't lose the whole deal because of them. It was just because they didn't want to do MMA. But yeah.
Perjury is perjury.
We're gonna see how it unfolds because
Perjure yourself.
Nevada State Athletic Commission has yet to come out on
You like
this.
perjuring yourself there, John? I don't know.
Respectfully,
Dana White said he should embrace his heel or persona, especially after everything's come out. He has recently come out and said, I'm okay with it now. He's like, at first I was very against it. Now I'm okay with it. It is who I am. I'm glad people can finally see who I actually am.
Really? Are you serious?
Yeah. In a recent interview where they were doing a Skype interview, they were going back and forth, and John Jones just said, fuck it, closed the laptop, and walked away at the end of the interview instead of getting DC's response.
yeah, he should be the evil guy with his little cat.
He does have his cat.
Yeah, he's got his cat. What is it? A Cerrone or some shit?
Some weird African cat.
Yeah.
Well, at least he understands that he's a douchebag and everybody else can see through his fake act now.
Yeah.
And
he even says, even if I am fake, so what?
See, that's the thing.
God, just hate him. Just hate him.
And you used to like him. You
can't
defended
deny
him.
his abilities.
Can't deny his ability at all.
Right.
He is hands down one of the greatest mixed martial artists ever. I mean, he defeating the guys he's defeated, coming up as quickly as he's come up, and I mean, it's not like he's defeating all of his guys by decision. He's flat out. Right. I mean, taking out Machida, taking out Shogun, taking out Rashad, taking out, what I mean?
I'm not denying that he's one of the greatest.
Glover, I mean, all the
time.
guys that he's taken out, it's just...
But what I'm saying is...
personality-wise...
Of course, I used to like him when it was like, oh, John Jones, on his way to a fight, stopped a carjacking or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, John Jones is like a real-life superhero. And then you find out that he's a two-faced, whiny little bitch.
Right.
And that's when I started disliking him. It's not because I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, he's too good, I don't like him. That's not
all
me
the George
at all.
hate?
Yeah. Because I still like George.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But but John Jones, like, his fake-ass personality. Maybe now if he embraces it and starts acting like that all the time and just becomes the heel like Chael Sonnen or Nick Diaz or something, then I can be like, okay, well, I can respect that now.
Yeah.
But not the fake bullshit. Like, when he was trying to be like, oh, but I'm a role model. And then he's
I'm a
going
Christian.
I'm on Instagram and he's like, meh.
Or we have footage now, like I said, of who are we following here? Tyson Griffin, who's catching some of the footage backstage while they're passing John Jones. Sees DC and you suck. Like as DC's walking down a hallway. Like
Daniel Cormier went to college and has like a wide vocabulary, and all John Jones can do is sit there and say, "You suck, you suck."
He went to a college, man, community college.
Whatever. When as articulate as John Jones, as Daniel Cormier is,
right.
And then when
that's why Daniel Cormier has a job also as a commentator and in the media as it.
And John Jones just sits there and he either yells "You suck" or goes "Meh" on Instagram. He makes himself look like an idiot.
He does.
Just keep your mouth shut.
And then when he called the Swedish guy gay and a fag and all this stuff, my account got hacked. My phone got hacked.
Yeah.
Even though they proved that it hadn't.
Yeah. He's full of shit. Whatever.
So last little bit of news before we get into UFC 182. I thought this was pretty funny. Donald Cerrone, Wednesday night, New Year's Eve, tweets, had it all set up with Budweiser. Happy New Year's, everyone. If you need me, I'll be pulling a wagon down the strip handing out Budweiser. Come and get it. Had it worked out with Budweiser, he was going to be driving the Budweiser horse car carriage full of Bud and just handing them out to whoever he wants. And the UFC called him and said, no, you can't do that. Well, why not? Because you can't ID everybody on the fucking strip to hand out Budweisers, and you're not going to hand out a Budweiser to some 14-year-old girl who looks like she's 21 because she's dressed like a whore today.
Haters gonna hate.
And he's like, oh, yeah, I didn't think about that.
And he was like, yeah, I am. That's exactly what I'm doing.
So then he decided he was going to go to a bar and buy a round for everybody with all the beer that he had in his wagon. And the bar was like, well, we're doing no glass. You're not handing out bottles to everybody in my club. And he's like, fuck. All right, well, Happy New Year, everybody.
So he rented a C-130 and flew that fucker home.
No. So you know what he's been doing this week? I've seen him on Embedded already. He was snowmobiling the day before New Year's during fight week, doing like jumps and shit.
Nice.
And then he went and did the stunt planes where he got to flip and do all the planes in Vegas.
Yeah, the 5G roll.
Yeah, all kinds of. He told the guy, just push it to a 10 immediately. I don't care. And then he tells Dana, I'm getting on a relaxing flight right now. I'll talk to you soon. And like, and goes and does this. Dana White has recently said, yeah, if he gets a title shot, very soon, if he becomes champion, I'm renegotiating his contract. He's not doing shit.
And
it'll ruin him because they already tried to mess with his camp and his style before.
He won't say yes to that. He'd be like, fine, I'm a one-time champ. I'm out.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. He don't need it.
Yeah, I don't see him having like a broadcasting career though. That's the thing.
No, he can't not drop an F-bomb. It's not possible. As we said before on the show, he's the only guy that we've ever interviewed where they told us specifically, do not put him on live. And we've interviewed the Diaz brothers. So, yeah.
All right, so going down to UFC 182. Real quick, I don't know if you guys have seen the new UFC 182 poster.
No.
So now, the posters for like the next 5 events are, the time is now, and it's like ... and then it says something. So that's because they're rolling with this whole the time is now thing for the UFC. So the time is now for Bitter Rivals is the name of this event. Mind you, we had UFC UFC 61 was also named Bitter Rivals back when the UFC was doing UFC number with a title, and then they got rid of that for a long time. And just to bring that out, I thought very interesting. The Bitter Rivals they were talking about at UFC 61 where it was the Tito versus Shamrock.
I was going to say it has to be Tito and Shamrock.
And Arlovski versus Sylvia 3. Oh,
okay.
Which is horrible. And strangely, on that same card, Josh Berkman, who's going to be fighting on this same card.
Really?
Just throwing that out there.
Think about that for a second, kids. UFC 61 versus UFC 182.
Yeah.
Josh Berkman's back.
That's what it should be called. The
Return of the Berkman.
Return of the Berk.
And he wants his $2. And we want our $200 knockout artist. I'm just saying.
Yes. With interest at this point, I think.
At some point, yeah.
Like $7 interest.
So we have prelims going down on Fight Pass. Do we just want to kind of briefly brush over some of these fights that are coming up, and then we can get into the main card? Yeah. Alexis Dufresne.
That works.
Right? That did pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Marion Reneau,
yeah.
All right, it's close enough, right?
Dude, right now, there's people
already
getting
upset.
ready. They're
already upset.
They're already upset.
They're writing a list. They're like, okay, go ahead, say the next thing.
And then we got
a check mark on that one.
Amari Akhmedov against Matt Nislin.
I don't think you can mess that one up. Matt's Nislin.
That's Matt's what I said. Matt's Nislin.
Okay, all right.
So that's going down on Fight Pass. I'm going to be taking Akhmedov and Alexis on those ones. Just real quick picks there.
Yeah, makes sense.
We'll get into the breakdown when we get to the main card. So then we got Evan Dunham going up against Rodrigo Dam. Sean Jordan going up against Jared Cannonier. That's the only one I can't do.
Cannonier.
Yeah. There we go. All right. Marcus Brimage going up against Cody Garbrandt.
Dude, you're taking Cody Garbrandt over Marcus Brimage?
Yeah, I think he's going to take the upset.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, okay.
His UFC debut, I know, but I'm going to be taking him for the upset.
Okay, well, the kid's 5-0. He is coming in undefeated.
Danny Castillo over Paul Fedler.
Oh, Felder.
Felder?
Or you have Felder written down, not Fedler.
Oh, yeah. All right. Dyslexic too, all right? Whatever. Let's go with that.
You're dyslexic, you're ADD, and you read too fucking fast.
What? I don't know why you have the window open today. It's very distracting.
Every time somebody walks by, Dodge is like, huh? Squirrel.
And then, of course, kicking off your main events in the pay-per-view, which Dana White says he expects 775K for the pay-per-view views.
Oh, that's up 25,000 from earlier this week. They said 750, so now it's
775 is the numbers I saw today.
I say the over. I'm gonna take the over on that.
Take the over?
Yeah, I'll take the over on that. I'd say more closer to 8 if I had to guess.
Wow,
there's a lot of hype behind this fight.
There's quite a bit of hype. He's saying pay-per-view is not dead. That this is going to be this is new year.
I think him tacking the
new year, new me.
Yeah. I think him tacking on the extra money, and again, I think these bigger fights make bigger groups for people to want to be together to watch them.
Yes.
So I think they'll actually be down. You know what I mean? Because
saving money instead of individual buys, it'll be a group buy.
Yeah, I think
we're
that's
going to buy it on
more.
like 4 different TVs and just put them all around the house. Everywhere you look is the same.
You don't have to buy it on 4 different.
No, we want to. We just want to waste the money.
You want to help the buyers.
We want to help the UFC.
Okay.
Because in our state, I mean, the HD is going to be close to $75. I don't know if it's any cheaper in other states.
Well, it's $65.
No, they said they're going to raise it 5, and then HD is already a little bit more than SD.
HD is like 10 more.
Yeah. So, I mean, it could be close to $70.
All right.
That's some guy on Reddit that was talking about how upset that he was that the
price increase.
No, it was a title shot that somebody was getting. I think it was Lawler Hendricks going for the third one, and they were like, "Why can't he fight this guy? Why can't he fight that guy?" And I was like, "Because this is the money fight, and it finishes up the trilogy." And they're like, "Well, why can't he fight? Make the trilogy happen later?" I said, "Well, then what happens if Hendricks loses? Now there's no reason to do the trilogy.
Right.
This is where the money's at." And somebody said, why do people like you even worry about where the UFC makes their money? Why do you guys care about money fights? You should care about the sport. I said, I do care about the sport, but I also want the UFC to keep their lights on.
Yeah.
And the guy responded to me and he said, well, you got to let the upstairs brass worry about doing that, and we should just worry about the fights. I was like, that's what they're doing though. Is they're keeping the lights on by doing this fight.
Yeah, I like arguing with a lot of these people in forums and stuff. Is by the time you get to the end of the argument, they've already backed your original argument.
Exactly. It doesn't make it sometimes. Well, I mean, it's like winning the Special Olympics, So great.
Yeah. So a lot of the times I don't even jump in anymore. I just wait till the end, and then I'm like, okay, it worked itself out.
Yeah.
My bidding here is done.
I knew I was stupid to even make a comment on Reddit because there's just, Reddit's a great website for information and news and a lot of funny shit too. But as far as like human commentary goes, it's garbage. It really is.
And does
the internet in general.
Does it ever?
Yeah, pretty much.
Does it ever blow your mind how much misinformation that these people are 100% sure is the truth?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's ever heard that. Just let people think you're a fool. Don't open your mouth and prove them right.
Prove it. Exactly.
Just don't.
People on the internet just kill me. Yes, people will make shit up, believe it or not, and post it as fact.
Sure. Yeah, I know you live in a trailer in Oklahoma, and you're going to tell this guy who runs a billion-dollar business. But you know what? Just keep that trailer chained down and hope a hurricane don't come.
No, man, Dana, you got to do this fight because this is the fight fans want to see that 7 people will buy.
Kicking off your main card on the pay-per-view, we got Hector Lombard, Showweather, going up against the returning Josh Burkman.
Return of the Burke.
Return of the Burke.
Return of the Burke. Return of the Burke.
Burkman is 27-10 in his overall career, 5-5 in the UFC when he left, so he's going to be jumping right back in his even record.
Might as well be 0-0 then. Let's just even him out.
He is very well-rounded and pretty much just a journeyman everywhere. He's very durable. He's never been knocked out. However, in this fight, anywhere he's relied on his strength and his athleticism, I just think that Hector Lombard is that much better. I think his best bet is definitely to tire Hector Lombard, push his cardio to the limits, and be able to win a decision. I do not think he'll be taking down Hector Lombard. I do not think he'll be knocking out Hector Lombard. Hector Lombard is very, very explosive, very fast. He's great in transitions. He's very well versed in judo as well. The only point I've ever seen Hector Lombard have problems with is his cardio.
Yeah,
and he's looking real cut.
He's looking real cut, and he's got really good right hooks, really good overhand lefts, really good uppercuts, and it seems like every time he's in the transition, he strikes really well. He as these transition, he's going over the top of guys or underneath arms, like catching guys where they're expecting him just to do a throw, and it's like he's doing a throw with a strike at the same time.
Right.
So I'm definitely taking Hector Lombard in this fight.
You're going to see a lot of experience in this fight. These guys have 39 and 37 collective fights together.
Yeah.
So if you think about that. And like we said, Burkman being at UFC 61, we're watching 2 veterans of the sport kick off this fight, the main card, which is actually really cool.
Very cool. Then you have Koji Horiguchi coming over to fight Louis Gnat. Louis Gnat has not been in the octagon since last October. He was supposed to be fighting. He had to pull out due to pneumonia. He did get his last fight overturned because he failed his drug test. He was found to have marijuana. He We was on the Ultimate Fighter. Do you remember him? He was the one with the green hair.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, Snothead.
Yeah, very good striker. Mixes up his kicks and his punches very well. Does throw the occasional spinning strike. I think he has at least in every bout that I've seen him in. His grappling is pretty decent. He's a really good guillotine. However, every time I've seen him up with somebody a little bit bigger, he gets bullied around, especially in the clinch.
Is this the guy who trains with or used to train with GSP?
No.
No? Okay.
I don't believe so.
Right.
Horiguchi, on the other hand, has probably...
No. Who was that guy? The guy who got knocked out in every single one of his fights? It was but he was GSP's good buddy, so Dana White kept giving him fights. He was like a sure thing knockout. I forget his name now. It was a guaranteed, I could knock him out.
I don't know. I have to go back and look. Koyuji Horiguchi is probably one of the best prospects to come out of Japan in a long time. He trains with Kid Yamamoto. Kid Yamamoto is basically his student, main pupil. He's taken out everybody he's gone through. He's 3-0 in the UFC at the moment. Every punch he throws are to fucking knock you out. Nice. He just has a massive amount of power in that little body of his. Uses really, really good angles, really, really good timing, very good at countering, really good wrestling, good singles and doubles. I'm definitely going to be taking him in this fight over Louis Gannat.
I am not taking Gannat either. No. I will not take Snothead. It's not going to happen. Snot's going to happen.
It's not going to happen? No. Brad Tavares facing off against Nate Marquardt. This could be the loser goes to a non-competitive league match. Just remember, the UFC doesn't have any competition, apparently, but one of them is going to be getting out.
You go to the minors.
You're definitely going to the minors. Brad Tavares is on a 2-fight skid after riding a 5-fight streak. Just hasn't been able to put it together recently. Good defensive wrestler, definitely a grinder, puts his combinations together well. He is not, though, a power puncher. Does not even throw in volume. It just seems like he kind of coasts through his fights, grinding things out. Doesn't really seem to be a finisher, in my opinion. I mean, I've seen him finish fights. It's just he doesn't go in for the kill where I think he should. Nate Marquardt, though, is former King of Pancrase, 15-year veteran, always in the top tier.
Right.
Always brings the fight. Great at grappling. Has really crisp striking. We've seen knockouts from him before. We've seen submissions from him before. He's had a long career. I think it's just beginning to catch up to him, though. His chin is definitely going to be a factor from here on out.
Nate's always... When he's on that skid, when it's like, oh, okay, you know what? Nate's probably done with the UFC. Then all of a sudden he wins that fight. You're like, oh, he's going to get kicked out if he loses. Then he wins that fight. And I think that's the biggest problem here for Brad. Because realistically, I think that if Nate fought how he fought, 9-11 in the UFC.
Yep. So
almost half the time, if he fights like that, then you're looking at Brad Tavares winning this fight. But really, I think this is the fight where Nate's like, oh shit, if I don't win this, I get fired. So now he's going to beat the hell out of Brad.
Yeah. I agree. I'm definitely taking Nate Marquardt. He's actually going to be the upset. They're taking Brad Tavares is actually the favorite in this fight from what I've seen online, but I'll be taking Nate Marquardt for the win.
Just because of that history, I think I have to as well.
Plus, I'm pretty sure I saw a fat version of him in San Francisco when I was at SantaCon, so I'm just going to vote for him.
It was just him.
Which round?
It'd be decision.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Nate Marquardt's a lot of lamprey.
Seen him knock guys out, though.
No, yeah, absolutely. But he
just derailed. Who did he derail? He derailed the Brazilian, that Paulo Thiago. Remember, Paulo Thiago came in, he knocked him out in like 2 seconds.
That's right.
Like, he was quick.
He can, but I'm saying typically his wrestling is his factor.
And then he pissed off Paul Harris by getting all sweaty in the back room, and then Paul Harris couldn't submit him, so he knocked him out. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was first round, too.
I can't believe this next one, but our brothers on the East Coast are going to be happy about this pick.
I know.
I can't believe this.
I know.
Especially from you.
I'm throwing the upset in here. We got Donald Cerrone going up against Miles Jury. Donald Cerrone, we know, is 26-6, 13-3 in the UFC. Miles Jury is undefeated, 15-0, 6-0 in the UFC. Cowboy Cerrone, man, we know he's taking on the best of the division. He's riding a 5-fight win streak, and every fight he's won has got to be... He does have decent wrestling. I'm not going to and he's definitely dangerous off his back. He's got good triangles and arm bars, but his bread and butter is his Muay Thai.
Oh, yeah.
It is fast. It is vicious. The only problem I see with this, and I've been reading and looking at a lot of things and actually watched a little bit more of his fights again, is, and this is where I worry, is that because he's so in tune with that Muay Thai, his head never moves. It stays on the center line the entire time. Every fight I had to go back and watch. He just doesn't move, and he's extremely hittable. And it seems to take him a while to get into the rhythm where then he starts picking guys apart. When he realizes that they're not hitting him, he just starts tearing them down. And he's won a lot of his fights that way. Miles Jury, though, man, he's been rising up in the ranks at 155 for a little while now. Definitely always comes. He comes in with really, really good game plans. Every fight, it seems like he's a different fighter. He's changed it up. He's basically a 3-tier fighter. I mean, he's got good wrestling, he's got good grappling, he's got good striking. Uses footwork to create angles and striking opportunities. I haven't seen any weaknesses from him yet. I mean, mind you, he's only had 6 fights in the UFC. I haven't seen anywhere where I thought this is where he's going to get caught. This is the fight this is where he beat Diego Sanchez and Gomi. Even though they were a little bit on the downswing of their careers, these are 2 big names that he was able to prove himself against, and he came in doing that with great game plans. I think if he can put pressure on Cerrone early, land the counters, he could steal this fight. That's where I'm going with the upset.
Are East Coast guys like this guy?
Oh, of course they do.
Oh, yeah. Death Rob. They're big backers of him. And I mean, and since he's dialed in his walk-in music, I mean, can you stop him? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm going with Donald Cerrone on this one.
Of course you are. I mean, it's hard. It's really hard for me to go against Donald Cerrone.
I think Donald Cerrone is. I would like to see Donald Cerrone's going to knock him out with a high head kick, but I really think it's probably going to be his slick submission game that we've seen so many times that people kind of tend to underrate because he's a Muay Thai fighter.
Yeah.
And I'd like to think that it's going to be a rear naked choke. And jury's going to go to sleep only because I want to hear Goldberg say the jury is out. And so that's what I'm
the only reason.
That's what I'm basing my decision on. I want to hear Goldberg screaming, "The jury is out! The jury is still out!"
Yeah, I could go either way. I really like the fact that I think Donald Cerrone's going to force Jury to be really ferocious. He's going to make him work.
And the thing is, though, like I said, I think I haven't seen Jury stray from a game plan yet. He's never been frustrated enough to just go into an all-out brawl. He's still very, very technical, stays with his game plan, and that's why he's able to win these fights. And if he can do that against Cerrone, I think he can win this fight. If Cerrone can kind of get him to loosen up a little bit and he starts just getting into a brawl, he's going to lose.
Yeah.
So, but I'll be taking Jury for the upset.
Yeah, I'm totally rolling with Cerrone on this one.
Cerrone, right?
I'm on the fence.
Right.
I'm not making a pick. I can't do it.
Can't do it. And then, of course, you get your main event that's been building up since last, August?
Been a while.
Jon Jones, 20-1, 14-1 in the UFC, and they're basically saying he's virtually undefeated because the win over Matt Hamill should have never been counted, or excuse me, loss to Matt Hamill should have never been counted, even though it was illegal blows.
But it wasn't really technically. It was not a loss.
It could be a no contest.
Hamill wasn't beating him.
Right.
You know,
it could have been. It should have been no contest.
Yeah. Without those illegal blows, my Hamill still would have been beat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Against Daniel Cormier, who is undefeated, 15-0, 4-0 in the UFC, and a lot of those you have to remember were at heavyweight. Here we go. So
former Strikeforce heavyweight champion.
Yeah, he is the former Strikeforce heavyweight Grand Prix winner. He is a former Olympic wrestler. Trains on a daily basis with Cain Velasquez, who is #1 heavyweight in the world. Definitely going to be using a very heavy wrestling-based attack. He does mix up his striking very well. He has great hand speed and combinations. His clinch is very strong. He likes to grind guys down, and especially once he gets a hold of you, you go for a ride. I mean, we saw this against Barnett, and we saw this against Henderson. I mean, he tossed Henderson like he was a baby. Henderson. I mean, just flopped him on his head.
The best, a bocce ball.
Yeah,
that would be the best way to describe it.
Just toss. Same thing with, Barnett, though, and that was a heavyweight. Yeah. So I worry,
and
though.
And a great catch wrestler, too.
Yeah. I worry for Dan Henderson in the leg kicks.
Cormier, you mean?
Yeah, excuse me, Cormier against the leg kicks. I think he could... He gets some of those leg kicks from the outside from Jon Jones. It's going to rob him of his power. It's going to rob him of his cardio and kind of slow him down. But, I mean, Jon Jones has the most title defenses and consecutive title defenses at 205 pounds with 7. He's walked through taking on the who's who of the division. The only one time that he looked that he was been beaten or had anybody that came close was Gustafsson. He's got good range. He uses it very, very well. He mixes up his kicks and punches. He switches from southpaw to orthodox stance. Throws his spinning elbows in every fight with ease and lands them almost all the time. He's great in the clinch, and that's where he gets his leverage, man. He throws those knees, sneaks in the elbows. It's going to be a really tough fight for both guys. I didn't pick anybody today. I don't know. I'd like to see, obviously, Daniel Cormier win because I think Jon Jones needs to be humbled a little bit.
Right.
But I definitely can see Jon Jones winning this fight from the outside. He says he wants to wrestle Daniel Cormier, that he was
of course he's saying that.
He says he was a junior college champion. He did get to rank #1 in junior college status. He says he could have gone to a 4-year college. He just never got a chance to. He decided to switch to MMA. He could have reached for the Olympics if he was given enough time, but he didn't because he went to MMA.
Could have been a contender.
Yeah, right. Because he decided to switch to MMA and that this is where he was supposed to be at. Daniel Cormier, on the other hand, says, I didn't win the Olympics because I wasn't supposed to. I didn't win you know, the NCAA All-American and all this stuff because I wasn't supposed to. I'm supposed to be the UFC champion. That's what I've been training my whole life for. He, in fact, the guy he lost to in the Olympics, who went and ended up getting gold in the Olympics, is now his training partner for John Jones.
Nice.
So there's no way he says John Jones is going to out-wrestle him.
And Steven Seagal.
And Steven Seagal, I was going to say, surprised. That got announced this week. He's been training with Steven Seagal in secret this entire time.
Yeah,
Because Seagal hates John Jones.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm taking Daniel Cormier on the fat shaming alone. I am, because I'm the Daniel Cormier body type, and I'd like to see him whoop that
And hair
ass.
type.
Huh?
And hair type.
You know what? Now we're gonna bald shame people. Fuck! I didn't realize that you lost weight and grew hair.
I did.
Okay.
He just has less skin to cover with all the hair.
You know what? I just thought about that. If I lost weight, I would look hairier.
Yeah.
Everywhere,
do.
everywhere
Everywhere.
though. Everywhere though.
I got to trim now.
No.
Oh, no. When I got down to like 170 pounds, I had a bigger dick. That was nice.
It's awesome.
It didn't get bigger. You could just see more of it.
My ex-wife said it was bigger.
It looks bigger.
She told motherfuckers at work it was bigger.
Really? Like what kind of water cooler do they have? Where it's like,
She
take
came
your
home
husband's
one day.
dick to work day?
Yeah, I guess she came home. She came home from work one day. This is no bullshit because I was working at the warehouse. I got down to like 173 pounds. I looked like a crackhead. And so like one of the girls at work was like, "So is it true what they say when they lose weight? Does it get bigger?" And my ex-wife was like, "Well, he's lost like 27 pounds." And yes, it's definitely noticeable. And I was like high-fiving the shit out of myself
I
after
think
that.
you could. I think you could just get it in further.
That's it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
What I'm saying.
That's
You lose. It looks bigger. It gets bigger.
If I'm not measuring from my fupa anymore, and I'm measuring from the actual base,
It's bigger.
then it's bigger.
Okay.
Now I got to push the ruler in.
I just start at my asshole. It's huge.
I'm just pushing the poop until I hit bone. All right, start measuring from there. Getting quarter of an inch. Yeah. All right, so that's it. Tomorrow, Cormier versus John Jones, bitter rivals, and this is probably one of the best rivalries in the UFC.
Right now, hands down.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of much rivals that are at this level as far as like, I mean, obviously Tito and Shamrock.
Tito and Shamrock were back in the
Definitely
day.
up
I even
there.
think they were bigger rivals than, and you know, they were saying Tim and Sylvia and Arlovsky, or they were saying Chuck Liddell and Randy. I don't see, they weren't really bitter rivals. They were just rivals of the
Right.
sport. They
Rivals
didn't
of
have the animosity that, like, I mean, Chuck and Tito were pretty had a little animosity
That's true.
between the two of them too. So that was a pretty good one.
Tito
but,
used anybody that he could to make a name for
True.
himself, though.
Yeah, and I love the shadow that it's cast on the McGregor hype train.
Yeah.
Because like nobody's even talking about McGregor anymore.
not right now. No.
It will be after his fight. See
Yeah.
what happens.
After this fight, we got another one. Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, thanks for listening. Tell your friends. It's called Split Decision. It's the MMA podcast. We do it once a week, and you can find it on Spreaker, Stitcher, and SoundCloud, as well as iTunes, where you can subscribe and not miss a show, or download us from our actual website, which is splitdecisionmma.com. Instagram and Twitter, SD_MMA, and Facebook, it is Split Decision MMA Podcast. Give us a like. Share the wealth, share the love. Happy New Year, all that stuff. Bueller and Dodge from the Ruloff Family Inc. Studios. Big thanks to Memory Tag as well as Americana MMA. Go check them out online. And that said, have a good night. We'll see you at the fights.
Go send Ben Askren a memory tag card
We're doing that.
with your personal message.
We're all doing it.
I need to send one to Felice Herrick too. She owes us
We're out.
We're out.